Today we'll see noise pollution in detail. Noise is a feature of cities. Noise may be defined as sound without values or any noise that is undesired by the recipient. Perhaps a better definition of noise is wrong sound in the wrong place at the wrong time. The noise pollution may be defined as unwanted sound which gets dumped into the atmosphere without regarding to the adverse effect it may be having. In the electronic communication system, the term noise pollution may refer to sounds that get interfere with communications. Such noise tends to increase with complexity and information content of systems of all kinds. Thus, man is facing an increasing problem with electronic pollution as radio communications and mobile communication get intensified. Hence, in the widest sense, the noise pollution can be considered to be unexpected backlash in concentrated use of power. The extent to which noise contributes to the deteriorations of our environment could not be as easily determined as that of pollutions from other sources. It has been possible to access impurities in air quality, or it is possible to decide whether water is polluted or not. But different people have been not affected equally by the same noise. There also occurs a vast variations in individual sensitivity to noise, and peoples are affected differently when they are at home and when they are outside or at work. Sound is measured by several complex systems, but the best known unit of measurement is the decibel, abbreviated as small d and capital B, a unit named after Sir Alfred Bell. The decibel measures a sound's intensity, or to the ear, its loudness. The decibel is a tenth of the largest unit. 1 decibel is equivalent to the finest sounds that can be heard by human ear. Because the decibels progress logarithmically, the human ear perceives each 10 decibel increase as an approximate doubling of loudness. Loudness is also expressed in sons. 1 son equals to the loudness of 40 decibel sound pressure at 1000 Hz. 40 decibels at 5000 Hz means twice as loud and is therefore assigned the value of 2 sons, and so on. The frequency is defined as the number of vibrations per second. It is denoted as Hertz, Hz. 1 Hertz is equal to 1 vibration per second. People can hear sounds from 16 to 20,000 Hz, but this range is reduced with age and other subjective factors. The range of vibrations below 60 Hz are infra-audible and those above 20,000 Hz ultrasonic. Some persons can hear frequencies that others are not able to detect. Many animals, for example dogs, can hear sounds inaudible to the human ear. Sometimes sound is exposed in psychoacoustic terms. The phone, PHON, it takes into consideration intensity and frequency. A sound level of 92 decibel at 20 Hz has a loudness of 40 phon. Human ear is known to be sensitive to an extremely wide range of intensity from 0 to 180 decibel. Hence 0 decibel is the threshold of hearing while 140 decibel is the threshold pain. By threshold, it implies the lowest intensity at which stimulus get perceptible. Some people feel discomfort even with sound of 85 decibel, whereas most do not feel discomfort with sound of 115 decibel. Pain is usually felt at 140 decibel. Ordinary talk or discussion is having the frequency range from 30 to 60 decibel, while noise produced by a jet plane at takeoff may exceed 160 decibel. The effect on man depends upon the frequency or pitch of the sound. The sound pressure level has been regarded to be a great loudness for higher pitch than for the lower pitch sound. Measurement of intensity of sound. The ISO International Organization for Standardization define noise intensity level as L capital L equal to 10 log of 10 capital I divided by I0. Here capital I equals the measured intensity of sound given in watt per square meter, whereas I0 equals the intensity of sound at the limit of audibility for the normal ear when the frequency of emission is 1000 cycles per second. How noise interferes with people's lives. In India, we have to keep our doors and windows open most of the year, with the result that the level of noise inside the house is almost as high as it is outside. This is because sound behave somewhat like gas in balloon. Even the tiniest opening in the enclosure reduce the enclosure's effectiveness as a barrier. Modern buildings using thin walls coupled at the same time with compact and multi-stories constructions contribute to high noise in cities. At an expressway, a single truck may generate sound level exceeding 90 decibels. While truck traffic is generally heavy during the night when ambient background noise levels are low. Dropping of a pin on the floor produces about 2 decibels of sound. A marriage procession on an average produces about 80 decibel noise. Diwali crackers are much louder, producing as much as 120 decibel sound. A public meeting causes anywhere between 85 and 90 decibel. Market noises range between 72 and 82 decibel as shown by various studies. Now, the generations of unreasonable noise within the environment is regarded as a form of pollution because it lowers the quality of life. There have been several specific ways in which excessive noise can affect people adversely. Repeated interference with the sleep is one of a major impact on people's life. In a social survey carried out amongst people living in the vicinity of airport, some 22% said that they sometimes found difficulty in getting to sleep because of airport noise. In areas where the noise level was particularly high, up to 50% complained about the noise. And even higher percentage said they got awakened by high intensity noises. Usually every night when sleep was not yet deep. After people have been asleep for some hours, they do not readily wake up, even when subjected to very loud noise. So different people have different depth of sleep and they can adjust to nocturnal sound. Undoubtedly, however, noisy conditions near residential areas are high must get avoided. Lack of continuous sleep is having a very harmful physiological effect on human beings. If it is impossible to reduce external noises, it becomes necessary to insulate dwellings effectively to counteract it. Many techniques for sound insulations are available today and can be applied at relatively moderate expenses. Another effect on people's are on their hearing ability. This effect only becomes of real importance if the sound have been exceptionally loud. Continuous exposure to noise level much above 100 decibel exert an adverse effect on hearing ability within a fairly short time. Many workers who are exposed to the noise of jet aircraft or very noisy workshop for even moderate period soon develop detectable hearing defect. These days, it has become the practice for workers in these situations to be equipped with ear protectors and provide these are worn all the times. Hearing ability has been not affected. Another effect is on communications. External sounds are able to interfere with conversations and use of the telephone, as well as the enjoyment of radio and television programs and live pastimes. It can thus affect the efficiency of offices, schools, and other places where communications has been of vital importance. The maximum acceptable level of noise under such conditions has been 55 decibels. 70 decibel is considered very noisy and serious interference with verbal communication is inevitable. Another effect on mental and physical health and working efficiency. Many people complain that noise makes them mentally or physically ill and reduce their working efficiency. Experiments have been carried out to attempt to confirm or disprove these claims. Noise certainly does not contribute in a least to mental illness, though proved by some offices. Damage to the inner ear may occur if continuous noise level is excess of about 100 decibels, but there is a little evidence that it can lead to physical illness. Noise is also having little effect on the performance of either physical or mental tasks, provided that the level is below about 90 decibel. There are many people who complain they are unable to work effectively if a clock is ticking too loudly or if there is a whispered conversation nearby. In these cases, the fault lies in the subject's inability to concentrate rather than in a physical or physiological effect of noise. Some people can easily concentrate under conditions of slight noise than in situations where there are no background sounds at all. Intermittent noise may bring about distractions and could therefore affect the efficiency of people who have to give constant attention to a single task. Efficiency does suffer above a sound level of 90 decibels, and experiments have shown that far more errors are made than at lower sound level. This has been found to be true even when the subject has been working for a long time at high sound level and should be accustomed to the noise. Noise is unwanted sound. It has been found to interfere with our activities at three levels. Audiological level in reference with the satisfactory performance of the hearing mechanism. Second one is a biological level interfering with the biological functioning of the body. And third is a behavioral level affecting the sociological behavior of the subject. Because of this, the noise affects starting categorically performance, physiology, and psychology. Noxious noise has been known to cause of nerve disorder, headache, high blood pressure, and short memory. Noise contribute to development of cardiovascular problems like heart disease and high blood pressure. Workers exposed to high noise level are having more circulatory problems, disturbances, neurosensory and motor impairment, and even more social conflict at home and at work. It has been found that startling can quicken a human fetus heart rate and cause its muscles to contract. Noise may cause malformation in fetus nerve system. Some study shows that workers exposed to high noise level had twice the incidence of hypertension and up to 4 times the incidence of peptic ulcers. Noise reduces the depth and quality of sleep and thus may adversely affect overall mental and physical health. Some scientists found in a 2-year study that persons living alongside city have a significant higher rate of admissions to mental hospitals than persons living in a socially similar but at rural areas. A sound need not be loud enough to completely arouse one, but may change the level of sleep. For instance, interruptions of rapid eye movement stage where dreams occurs has a curious effect. The person has to compensate later and feels very fatigued. Noise can cause hearing loss and deafness. Medical experts now believe that our hearing worsens with age partly because of exposure to the typical noise of our industrialized society. A temporary threshold shift means any loss of hearing which the ear recovers. This temporary threshold shift regularly follows exposure to loud noise and recovery may take only a few seconds or several days. Any noise which produces TTS will, with prolonged exposure, also produce permanent threshold shift. Workers exposed to high level of noise have TTS at the end of their day's work, from which they usually recover by following morning or after a weekend. TTS has been probably due to metabolic changes in the cochlea and failure to return to the normal biochemical state before further exposure takes place. Different control measures for the noise pollutions. According to WHO, of all environmental problems, noise is the easiest to control. But a question of control will arise only after this is awareness among the people of the need for control and for the government to find some solution for it. Different approaches have been given for this noise pollution control. One, the first approach has been to reduce noise at source. Design and fabrication of silencing devices and their use in aircraft engines, trucks, car, motorcycles, industrial machines, and home appliances would be an effective measure. Protection to workers can be provided through wearing devices such as earplug and ear muffs. Another one is it can be get reduced by making a change in design and operation of machines, their vibration controls, their soundproof cabins, and sound absorbing materials. Another one is it can be get reduced by prescribing noise limits for vehicular traffic, ban on honking of horns in certain areas, and planning main traffic arteries, industrial establishment, amusement areas, residential colonies, creation of silent zone near schools and hospitals, and redesigning of buildings to make them noise proof. Other measures can involve reductions of traffic density in residential area giving preference to mass public transport system. Now, different control measures that can be applied at indoors level where outdoor noise levels have been high in polling methods can be applied for reducing their effect. The methods are 1. Located in the building as far as possible from noise source. The noise level drops about 6 decibel each time the distance is doubled. Then trees and shrubs may be planted in front of building to provide some absorption of sound effect. So large tree around your house can help in absorption of road traffic sound. Thereafter, locate non-critical areas such as corridors, kitchens, bathrooms, elevators, and service space in the noisy side and critical area such as bedroom and living spaces on the quieter side. Back-to-back bathrooms or toilets should be avoided unless they are effectively sound isolated. Bathrooms, kitchens, and laundry rooms should not be adjacent to the floor. Bathroom walls, floors, ceiling should be sound insulated using construction of high sound insulation glass. Then noisy toilets. Quite siphon jet type flush toilet should be installed to reduce noise from the source. Commode seats with double siphon systems are now available and may be adopted wherever possible that can reduce indoor noise. Another method of noise control pollutions in case of outdoor is a vegetation buffer zone must be created in different parts of city. Efforts should be made for roadside plantations of the city that Ashoka, Neem, Tamarind, Coconut, these plants can absorb noise considerably, which can be planted along roadsides. Then legislative methods. By developing laws, government should pass the Noise Pollution Control Act to meet special Indian conditions. Apart from such kind of central legislations, there should be a city noise control code for all major cities in India. Creation of unnecessary noise has to be prohibited and should be punishable under law. Educating people can be one of a way. People can be educated through radio, TV, newsreel in cinemas, halls about the noise pollution. In the family, elder can teach children to keep the radio volume low, low voice talking, not to horn unnecessarily on the roads, avoid quarreling amongst each other, and so on. There should be a complete ban of loudspeakers from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m. These are some control measures we can apply for reducing the noise pollution.